Support for WCBU's On Deck comes from Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road. Special offers available on nearly every new Jaguar with personalized service throughout purchasing and ownership. Jaguar, a proud luxury and performance brand. More at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
The Illinois General Assembly avoided overtime in this year's budget cycle, but there was still plenty of drama to go around. That's just one of the things you'll want to hear about to start your day for Tuesday, June 4th. I'm Tim Shilley, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, she was only at Bradley for 4 years, but she brought new ideas and national prominence with her. Nellie Kedzie Jones came to Bradley just as Lydia Moss Bradley was getting Bradley Polytechnic Institute off the ground in 1897. Here's Libby Trones, Director of Special Collections at Bradley.
She's seen as an essential figure in her lifetime of the founding of home economics, and that's important because it's not just in retrospect. Highly respected at the time.
Jones helped develop the so-called industrial model of domestic science, as it was known then. She was determined that her students develop not only skills like sewing and cooking, but also nutrition, budgeting, table service, manners, and the production and marketing of food.
She was committed to pairing doing and thinking, right? She understood that home economics as a discipline must combine theoretical teaching and practical hands-on learning.
Nina Collins, the former chair of Bradley's Family and Consumer Sciences Department, once wrote Jones was one of the unsung heroes of home economics. You can hear more stories like this on WCBU's Postmark Peoria podcast hosted by Steve Tarter. Here's some of the other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. Former State Representative Mike Yunez will lead Illinois Central College's fundraising efforts as the next Vice President of Institutional Advancement. The state would see new rules on carbon capture under a compromise bill that now awaits the governor's signature. And Illinois taxpayers will see a higher standard exemption for the 2024 tax year, resulting in additional savings for families. Find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. Democrats have sent Governor J.B. Pritzker a $53 billion spending plan for the upcoming fiscal year. But it took a marathon House session to push the budget through the legislative process to the finish line. Illinois Lawmakers host Jack Titchener breaks it down with House Speaker Chris Welch.
The budget passed on the first vote. The budget implementation plan passed on the first vote. The revenue package, which helps pay for the balanced budget, it did take 3 votes to get it done. But no one ever said that the House is boring. We're definitely not a boring chamber. You never know what to expect when it comes to the House. But, we tell folks sausage making isn't pretty. And they got to watch the sausage being made, which I think is very important for people to see. Sausage making is never pretty.
We knew for some weeks that some members of the House Democratic Caucus had some reservations about all of the makings that went into this package. How did that play out in the final hours of this session? How did everyone finally, or at least the 60 votes, come together to push this over into the end zone?
Well, both the House and the Senate have very diverse caucuses. Our supermajorities are very diverse. We look like Illinois. Quite frankly, we look like America. And when you look like America, I say diversity is the strength of our state. Diversity is the strength of our caucus. But I never said it's easy. I mean, it takes a lot of listening. It takes a lot of sit-down meetings with folks and hearing them out and addressing their concerns. And, I met with a number of our members all weekend and through Tuesday and listened to their concerns and asked them to vote for these items because these are things that, as their leader, I negotiated with the Senate President and Governor, and we got it done. And as you see, every bill passed the House.
One of your Democratic colleagues from Hoffman Estates, Representative Fred Crespo, was expressing some concerns about whether this package will hold together over the length of the fiscal year, and that lawmakers might have to come back and look for more sources of revenue to keep things going.
Listen, Chairman Crespo has been around a long time. He chairs our General Services Committee because I consider him to be a subject matter expert. I listen to him. He's one of the many folks that I listen to. We believe that this is a balanced budget. It's our sixth balanced budget in a row. Already, investors are looking at it in a very positive light because it pays down debt. There was an article in Crane Chicago Business today talking about how far Illinois has come when it comes to our muni debt specifically, and how this budget continues to do that. We put in the work, and it's showing with the credit agencies and with the financial experts looking at it and giving us credit for what we're going to do. But more work has to be done, no doubt about it.
When you look at the wide range of things that got passed, not only in the budget, but in terms of policy issues like insurance reform and things like that, early childhood department, how does the final work product of the General Assembly reflect the values that the Democrats in Springfield and Governor Pritzker have been expressing?
Well, this budget is a true moral document. Our values are truly reflected in it. It's a balanced budget that continues to invest in a true cradle to career education system. The monies that we invested in our education system speak loudly. The messages that the investments that we put into our healthcare system speak loudly. The budget prioritizes things that are very important to Democratic constituencies, and I'm really proud of that fact.
As we look forward to this, what are the things you're looking forward to addressing briefly in the fall veto session?
Well, I'm right now excited that we're done with the spring session, and we're going to get to spend some time with our families and back home in the districts with our constituents. We'll have time to talk about the fall, and so I'm going to enjoy and celebrate the work that we got done this past spring. Because, there's a lot to celebrate here.
Now, before we let you go, the Cher Show is stopping at the Peoria Civic Center tonight. The Tony Award-winning musical celebrates the pop icon. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on Apple, Spotify, or the NPR app.